Welcome, gents. Silence is only dangerous when it belongs to someone who truly sees. There comes a point when a Sigma male stops trying to fit in and starts living by his own truth. He is not loud, not desperate for attention, and not moved by approval. That quiet confidence sounds admirable on paper, but in real life it makes people uneasy. His calm energy exposes how restless others really are. His independence reminds them how much they rely on being noticed. The truth is, people do not actually hate Sigma males because of what they do. They hate what their presence reflects back at them. When you do not play by their emotional games, they feel powerless. When you succeed quietly, they feel unseen. When you stay grounded while they chase validation, they start to question their own values, and that is what creates the hate. If you are a Sigma male, understand this. Their dislike is not your problem. It is a reaction to their own insecurity. Your detachment, your focus, and your calm spirit are rare qualities in a world addicted to noise. Do not water them down to make others comfortable. Stay silent when needed. Keep growing in peace. Because the truth about why they hate you is exactly what proves you are different. Watch this video to the end, and you will see why the same qualities that make them uncomfortable are the ones that make you powerful. Let's get started, gents. Number 1, their truth sounds offensive to fragile egos. There's something powerful about a Sigma male's way of speaking. He does not talk to impress. He talks to express. When he speaks, it is never dressed up to sound polite or soft. It is direct, clear, and often hits a nerve. Not because he is rude, but because he does not know how to lie just to keep others comfortable. He values truth over approval, and that alone separates him from most people. You see, the world is full of fragile egos that survive on illusion. Many people build their confidence on lies they keep repeating to themselves about who they are, how strong they are, or how right they always seem to be. When a Sigma male enters the room and speaks truthfully, those illusions begin to tremble. Suddenly, the mask people have been wearing starts to feel heavy, and instead of appreciating honesty, they get offended by it. To them, his truth sounds like an attack, but in reality, it is just clarity without decoration. The Sigma male does not argue or explain too much. He simply says what is real, and that alone can feel like a mirror being held up to someone's face. A mirror that exposes all the things they try to hide, even from themselves. What makes the Sigma's truth even more unsettling is his calmness while saying it. No anger, no noise, just quiet certainty. And that silence carries more weight than 1,000 shouted opinions. It makes people realize he does not need their agreement to be right, so they label him as arrogant, cold, or insensitive. But that is just defense. The truth is, his honesty pierces through pretense, and most people are not ready to face themselves that clearly. A Sigma male's words are not meant to hurt, they simply reveal. And once someone hears the truth from him, they can never unhear it. Number 2, their self-respect looks like pride. There is a quiet power in how a Sigma male carries himself. He does not beg for attention, he does not over-explain, and he never chases validation. He knows his worth, and that knowledge shapes every move he makes. To him, self-respect is not a show. It is the foundation he stands on. Yet to people who live without boundaries, that calm confidence often looks like pride. The truth is, most people confuse humility with submission. They think being humble means allowing others to walk over you or tolerating disrespect in the name of peace. But a Sigma male does not see it that way. He can be kind without being a pushover. He can be respectful without shrinking. He knows that lowering himself to please others never leads to real connection. It only invites exploitation. When he says no, people call him cold. When he walks away from nonsense, they call him arrogant. but that is because his self-respect exposes their lack of it. It reminds them how easily they bend to please others, how often they trade their peace for approval. His boundaries highlight everything they have been avoiding facing in themselves. To a Sigma male, self-respect is sacred. It is not a shield he hides behind. It is the line that protects his energy, his time, and his peace of mind. He does not need to prove his worth. He simply lives it. He refuses to beg for love or attention because anything that requires him to lose himself is not worth having. And that is what unsettles people the most. They mistake his calm for pride because they cannot imagine being that secure in themselves. But a Sigma male's self-respect is not arrogance. It is clarity. It is the quiet understanding that you do not need to be louder to be powerful, and you do not need to please others to be worthy. Number 3, they stay unbothered when others react. There is a rare kind of calm that Sigma males carry, the kind that cannot be provoked. You can insult them, question them, mock them, twist their words, and they will still look at you with the same unshaken eyes. That stillness confuses people. It even makes them angry, because most are used to seeing their words control others. They are used to emotional reactions giving them power. But when a Sigma male stays unbothered, that power dies right there. You see, his silence is not weakness. It is strategy. He understands that reacting gives energy to what does not deserve it. Every outburst, every argument, every attempt to prove himself is a waste of peace. He knows that the moment he reacts, he has handed control to the other person. So he chooses stillness instead. He lets people talk, assume, and project, while he remains centered within himself. To the insecure, that silence feels like disrespect. They cannot handle being ignored because attention is their fuel. When a Sigma male does not respond, it exposes their need to be noticed. It reminds them that their opinions only matter to those who need approval, and that is not him. His unbothered nature is not about pretending not to care. It is about understanding that not everything deserves a response. He has learned that peace is more powerful than revenge, and self-control is the loudest statement a person can make. When others lose their temper, he stays calm. When they gossip, he stays quiet. When they try to provoke him, he simply observes. And that calm silence eats at them, because deep down, they realize they cannot move someone who has mastered himself. That is the real strength of the Sigma male, not in fighting every battle, but in knowing which ones are beneath him. Number 4, they do not give predictable reactions. People never know what to expect from a Sigma male, and that is exactly what drives them crazy. Most people live by patterns. They study how others react so they can control outcomes. They know which buttons to press, which emotions to stir, and which words to use to get a response. But when it comes to a Sigma male, those tricks fail. His reactions are unpredictable, his silence is unreadable, and his emotions are carefully managed. He does not respond the way others want him to. He responds the way truth demands him to. That unpredictability is what protects his peace. A Sigma male understands that once people can predict your reactions, they can manipulate them. So he stays mysterious, not as a game but as a shield. He listens more than he speaks, observes more than he reacts, and decides when to respond on his own terms. That emotional discipline is rare, and it deeply frustrates those who depend on chaos for control. When someone tries to provoke him, he does not flare up. When they try to flatter him, he does not melt. When they expect him to explain, he stays silent. It is not arrogance, it is wisdom. He knows that reacting too quickly often exposes what you care about most, and he guards that part of himself carefully. People mistake his calm for confusion, but they soon realize it is calculation. He takes his time, studies patterns, and lets emotions settle before deciding what to do next. By then, the manipulator has already lost interest because they cannot play a game he refuses to join. That is what makes the Sigma male so untouchable. You can guess, provoke, and assume, but you will never fully read him. He is not driven by attention or validation. He is driven by clarity, and clarity does not react. It responds with purpose. Number 5, their independence exposes others' dependency. A Sigma male's independence is not loud or rebellious. It is quiet, steady, and deeply rooted in self-trust. He moves through life without needing to be seen, praised, or constantly reminded of his worth. That calm freedom unsettles people who rely on approval to feel valuable. When he walks his own path, he unknowingly holds up a mirror to everyone still chained to the need for validation. Most people build their lives around being liked. They shape their words, choices, even personalities to fit into what others expect. They crave reassurance, compliments, and applause just to feel alive. So when a Sigma male appears, content, focused, and unmoved by external approval, it exposes how dependent they truly are. His freedom quietly challenges their entire way of living. You can see it in how they react to him. Some call him cold. Others say he is arrogant or distant. But what they really mean is, I wish I could be that free. They are uncomfortable, not because he rejects them, but because he makes them realize how much of their identity depends on being accepted. The Sigma male is not trying to prove a point. He simply understands that real peace begins when you stop chasing validation. He has learned that approval is a trap that keeps people repeating the same shallow patterns. His independence comes from knowing his worth does not fluctuate based on anyone's opinion. That level of emotional detachment is rare. It makes people reflect on how much they rely on attention to feel secure. And while some resent him for it, others quietly admire him. Because deep down, everyone wants that kind of freedom. The ability to move through the world without asking for permission, without explaining yourself, and without needing to be seen to know you matter. Number 6, they disrupt social ranking systems. Society runs on invisible ladders. Everyone is trying to climb, trying to be seen as more important, more admired, more successful than someone else. It is a constant performance, a silent competition that most people participate in without even realizing it. But then comes the Sigma male, the one who refuses to play the game altogether. He is not interested in being at the top, and he has no desire to prove himself to anyone at the bottom. He simply steps out of the ranking system completely, and that alone throws people off balance. You see, hierarchies survive only when everyone agrees to care about them. The moment someone stops caring, the system loses power. The Sigma male's indifference is that disruption. He is not trying to be a leader, but people still follow him. He is not trying to be superior, but his self-reliance gives him quiet authority. That makes others uncomfortable because it challenges the unspoken rules they live by, that worth must be earned through validation, position, or applause. When a Sigma male succeeds without seeking permission, it exposes how trapped others are in the need to be ranked. It shows them that influence does not come from being placed higher, it comes from being centered. And that realization stings. People try to categorize him. Is he alpha? Is he beta? Is he something else entirely? But the truth is, he does not belong on that chart. He operates in a different frequency, one where he values peace over power and authenticity over approval. That refusal to compete frustrates those who need competition to feel alive. His presence reminds them that chasing status is just another cage. The Sigma male does not destroy the hierarchy, he renders it irrelevant. And that quiet rebellion is what truly unsettles people. Number 7, they cannot be guilt-tripped. A Sigma male is the kind of person you cannot control through guilt. He sees through emotional manipulation like glass. People who rely on guilt as a tool, those who twist emotions to make others feel responsible for their unhappiness, find themselves powerless around him. That is because he does not respond to emotional traps. He understands the difference between genuine care and emotional blackmail. Most people fear being called selfish or unkind, so they bend easily under guilt. They say yes when they want to say no. They apologize for things that are not their fault. But a Sigma male has learned that guilt is the oldest control tactic in the book. He knows that anyone who tries to make him feel guilty for setting boundaries is simply trying to keep control over him. And the moment he refuses to play that game, their power disappears. You cannot guilt-trip someone who has made peace with being misunderstood. The Sigma male is not afraid of people painting him as the villain if it means protecting his peace. He knows that false guilt is a cage built by manipulators to keep others obedient. And he has no interest in living that way. So when someone tries to twist his emotions, using pity, shame, or silent treatment, he does not argue. He just walks away. That calm refusal to carry someone else's emotional baggage infuriates those who depend on control. They call him heartless, cold, or detached. But the truth is, he simply values emotional clarity. A Sigma male knows that love without freedom is manipulation, and kindness without choice is control. By refusing to be guilt-tripped, he teaches others an uncomfortable truth, that real compassion comes from choice, not from pressure. And once he breaks that spell, no one can ever use guilt to own him again. Number 8, their growth is quiet but visible. A Sigma male never announces what he is working on. He does not post every move, brag about every win, or seek applause for his progress. He believes in moving in silence and letting results speak when the time is right. While others chase attention, he chases mastery, and that quiet discipline makes his growth look effortless, until people suddenly realize how far ahead he is. You see, the world has become addicted to loud success. Everyone wants to be seen striving, struggling, and winning publicly, but the Sigma male finds that noise distracting. He prefers to disappear into his work, refine his mind, strengthen his focus, and evolve when no one is watching. His silence is not secrecy, it is concentration. He knows that energy wasted on validation is energy stolen from progress. By the time people notice his growth, it often feels unfair. They wonder how he advanced so far when he was never part of the crowd, never networking, never showing off. What they do not see are the nights he spent learning, the sacrifices he made quietly, and the way he never needed external approval to stay consistent. His success feels sudden to others, but to him, it is just the natural outcome of consistent effort. And that is what irritates egos the most, because while they were busy being seen, he was busy becoming. His quiet rise exposes how much noise people make to cover their lack of real progress. A Sigma male does not evolve to prove anyone wrong. He evolves because stagnation feels like death to his spirit. His success may look like magic to outsiders, but in reality it is the result of relentless discipline done in silence. When he finally emerges, it is never with noise. It is with undeniable proof. Number 9, they never compete for attention. In a world where everyone seems desperate to be seen, the Sigma male stands out by not trying to be. He does not chase the spotlight or fight for attention, and that alone makes him magnetic. While most people are performing, posting, talking, or exaggerating to stay visible, he remains calm, focused, and almost invisible. Yet somehow, people still notice him. That quiet confidence unsettles those who depend on attention to feel important. Attention has become a kind of social currency. People use it to measure worth, power, and popularity. But the Sigma male refuses to play that game. He knows that attention does not equal value, and being noticed does not mean being respected. His sense of identity does not come from how many people are watching, but from how deeply he understands himself. That independence from external validation is what gives him his rare aura. When he walks into a room, he does not try to impress anyone, and that's exactly why people become curious. His silence has weight. His presence has gravity. The crowd cannot figure him out because he is not performing for them, and that confuses them. How can someone be so calm yet command such quiet attention? The answer is simple. He is not trying. The Sigma male's strength lies in detachment. He does not need eyes on him to feel real. He does not need applause to feel worthy. He understands that chasing attention only leads to dependence, and dependence is weakness. People who crave the spotlight often feel threatened by his indifference. They throw louder words, bigger gestures, and more noise just to pull him in. But he remains still. Because the Sigma male does not compete for attention. He attracts it by being the one who no longer needs it. Number 10, they forgive quietly and distance permanently. When a Sigma male forgives, it does not come with speeches or second chances. It comes with silence. He does not hold grudges, he does not plot revenge, and he does not seek closure from the one who wronged him. He simply forgives in his mind, accepts what happened, and moves on, but without taking the person along with him. That kind of peace feels strange to those who are used to emotional chaos. Most people forgive loudly because they want recognition for their kindness. A Sigma male does not need that. His forgiveness is private because it is not about the other person. It is about his own freedom. He understands that holding on to bitterness keeps him connected to the very thing he wants to outgrow. So he lets go. But once he does, there is no coming back. The emotional access is gone for good. What makes this kind of forgiveness so unsettling is how final it feels. There is no argument, no outburst, no visible anger to negotiate with, just distance. And that quiet disappearance hits harder than confrontation ever could. The other person starts to realize that the absence of drama does not mean indifference. It means they no longer matter enough to provoke a reaction. People hate that about Sigma males. They cannot stand being erased so calmly. It feels colder than revenge because there is no ego, no noise, just complete detachment. The Sigma male does not need to prove he is over it. His silence proves it for him. He does not punish with words. He punishes with peace. His distance is not meant to hurt, but to protect his energy. And once he chooses distance, there is no anger left, only clarity. That is what makes his detachment so powerful. He forgives to free himself, not to fix the relationship. Number 11, they do not celebrate publicly. When a Sigma male wins, you might not even know it. There are no victory posts, no loud announcements, no humble brags dressed as gratitude. He keeps his success private, not because he is secretive, but because he understands something most people never learn. Peace and progress grow best in silence. The Sigma male does not need an audience to feel accomplished. He knows that the moment you share your victories too soon, the world turns them into a stage for comparison, gossip, and envy. People begin to measure, judge, and project their insecurities onto what should have remained sacred. So he keeps his growth behind closed doors, letting his results speak when the time is right. But this quiet success unsettles people. Society feeds on validation cycles. Post an achievement, collect praise, and keep the attention flowing. When someone breaks that rhythm, it feels like rejection. The Sigma male's silence denies people their usual drama. They cannot gossip about what they cannot see. They cannot compete with what they cannot measure. They cannot envy what they do not know. So instead, they create reasons to dislike him, They call him mysterious, secretive, or even arrogant because his privacy makes them feel excluded. The truth is, he is not hiding, he is protecting. He understands that the more people know about your life, the more they feel entitled to interfere with it. His silence is his shield, not his ego. While others waste energy showing the world how far they have come, the Sigma male uses that same energy to keep going further. He celebrates quietly, alone, or with a select few who truly matter. His joy does not need to be broadcasted to feel real, and that's what makes it powerful. His silence is not emptiness. It is proof that he values peace over performance and fulfillment over fame. In final words, when you stop needing to be understood, you stop giving people control over your peace. At some point, every Sigma male realizes that being different comes with a price. People will misunderstand your calm, question your silence, and twist your independence into arrogance. They will call you distant when you are simply focused, and cold when you are just protecting your peace. But none of that means you are wrong. It means you see life differently, and that difference unsettles those who depend on approval to survive. You were never meant to fit into their systems. You were built to operate beyond them. Your quiet strength, your emotional control, your refusal to beg for validation, those are not flaws, they are signs of inner maturity. The reason people start hating Sigma males is simple. Your existence exposes their weakness. You remind them that true power is not loud, it is silent, it is controlled, it is free. So do not shrink yourself to be liked. Do not trade your peace for acceptance. Let them call you what they want. Let them misunderstand. Their discomfort is proof that you have evolved past the need to perform. Keep walking your path with calm conviction. Stay focused, stay detached, and let your results make the noise you never have to. Because being a Sigma male is not about superiority. It is about mastery. Mastery of emotion, of focus, and of self. And when you have mastered yourself, the opinions of others become nothing more than background noise. Thank you for watching, gents, and God bless you.